yourself. I tell you, instead of feeling alone in a group, it's better to have real solitude all by yourself.
And we back. Cause we black. Cause we back. We black. The music loud. Oh yeah, we back. Cause we black. We back. Cause we back. Yes. Your boy is in the building this evening. Your boy is in the building this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the First Heartbeat Podcast, Michigan's hottest podcast, I might add. Oh yeah. It's darn near on track to be the hottest podcast in the world, but right now it's definitely Michigan's hottest podcast. Don't get it messed up. And before we get into it, I just need to make sure that my levels are sounding good. I need to make sure that I'm sounding good for y'all. Because what we're going to try to do here is have some real talk. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Y'all bear with me. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. As I prepare to flow from the Survivor Scrolls, as Reverend X and Tariq Nishi used to say. All right. You're sounding lovely. It's sounding lovely right now. Let me get rid of it.
They say humans are social.
All right.
They can't live alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing this evening? Are y'all feeling good? I'm feeling great. Just got a haircut. Your man is fly. I'm feeling great right now. How are y'all doing? How's your week been? Have you had a good week? What's today? Friday? Did you have a productive work week? Oh yeah, I'm feeling good this evening. I'm feeling real good. And I want to talk to the family out there. How is everybody doing this evening? I want to thank everybody for checking in with me this evening. Oh yeah, I'm definitely feeling good right now. Shout out to my barber. You see this, you see it, you see the title, you see the screen, all that good stuff. You see it all. You see it all. Is depression ignored in the Black community? Is depression ignored in the Black community? I want to get into that tonight. But before I get into that, well, I wanted to attempt to talk about some stuff that's going on in the news that's during the week. You know what I mean? I don't really be paying attention like that, though. I don't really be paying attention like that. Nah, I don't. But let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not familiar with the artist known as, you know what? I think I might just cut this music down because it's kind of interrupting my flow a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not familiar with the artist Lil Loaded he committed suicide, according to the reports. He committed suicide, and reports say that he was upset. He was upset with the situation with his girlfriend. Now, I don't know all the way if that was the exact reason that he killed himself or anything like that, but it led me to ask one question. Because you see the talk of depression. And then I hear a lot of people say, well, black people, particularly black men, we don't take mental health nor depression seriously. I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. Shout out to V Feggy. Yo, CJ, I'm gonna try to make this live tomorrow. Yeah, just watch the replay, fam. I appreciate you. On the plantation right now. May tap in later. Shout out to Ray Jones. Shout out to Ray Jones. But that made me, ask the question because, like I said, I've heard that a lot in my life, that mental illness and depression, they are not taken as serious. Shout out to Sam. Sam just texted me. Sam, chime in, bro. I just sent you the link. Shout out to Sam. Chime in. Let's talk. I would love to talk to some black men and black women tonight. To all my other people that support me that are not black, trust me, I appreciate it, and I know y'all. I know y'all have your own issues too. I get it. But tonight, excuse me, I'm about to get some water. But tonight, I'm talking to my people tonight. I want to talk to the people that look like me. And this is no disrespect to y'all. None whatsoever. But anyway, boys and girls. So let me ask you, do we not take depression and mental illness serious enough? Because let's just say, and I want to be respectful as possible to Little Loaded, because according to the report, his mother found him dead in the house. His mother found him dead. Now, I imagine that would be a horrible, horrible way to find your child. That would be an awful way to find your child. Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. That would be an awful way to find your child. Dead in the house. As a parent, I don't know. I'm not a parent, but as a human being, as somebody with empathy for other people, I can only imagine what it would be like to find somebody that I loved and care about, especially a child that I brought into this world dead.
It's better to have real solitude all by yourself.
And I know right now we live in an ultra, how do I want to word this? We live in a society to where things are not as what they used to be. And I'm gonna dive into that right now. I used to think that therapy was nonsense. I can admit that. I used to think that therapy was absolutely nonsense. I used to think that, why would I talk to people who really have no vested interest in me, that I'm just paying to tell my problems, and to give them and them giving me some sort of solution, to whether it be some sort of medication or some advice. And I don't know if it's even wholehearted. Ted, I can't. I don't. Yeah. Shout out to Teddy. You call. I'm doing my show, bro. But if you want to chime in, please chime in. You can call in too, fam. Just let me know if you want to call in. But anyway, that kind of threw me off. Okay. But anyway, where was I? So I used to think that therapy, I'm not going to say it was weird, but I didn't think it was necessary. I was always the type that used to believe that if you truly want something bad enough, that you can get it yourself. Now, to a certain degree, part of me still believes that. Part of me still believes that. And I think there is a fine line between being lazy and being depressed. Right? Now, again, I'm a proponent for help. If you feel that therapy, talking to a therapist, a professional, is helpful to you, then by all means you should do
Instead
it.
of feeling alone in a group, it's better to have real solitude.
By all means you should do it. Guys, I want to know if I was ready to eat. I'm gonna eat on the show. I'm gonna eat a little bit on the show. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm gonna just keep it real. Yeah, I'll do that. Anyway, y'all. But if you feel like that will help you, if you definitely feel like that will help you, I have no problem with that. And I'm gonna say this too. I was very fortunate in my life, right? I have a father. I have two fathers. I have a stepdad and I have my biological dad that I have great relationships with both of those men. My father, my biological father was like, he was like the no nonsense. He wasn't like a rule with an iron fist, but he taught me necessary lessons. He taught me how to be stern. He taught me and he groomed me on how to survive in the world. He taught me how to be strong as a man. He taught me how to be mentally strong. He taught me how to be financially strong. Very rarely did, my dad was not the lovey-dovey or is not the lovey-dovey type of father. You know what I mean? My dad, he showed me lessons that were appropriate for me to survive. And I appreciate that. A lot of things I didn't understand. A lot of the things that I didn't understand as a young child, like, I get it now because, and I'm about to bring my homie in so 1 second. A lot of things that I didn't understand as a young child, like, I understand it now thanks to those teachings. And I got that from him with my step pops. He showed me that emotional side, so to speak, if that makes sense. Like, as a kid, he was the pops that would throw you up in the air, the playful dad and all that kind of stuff. So really, I had the best of both worlds. So I knew how to balance both. So I would say that I'm pretty emotionally stable as an individual. And I had the nurturing side from my mother. Let me get my homeboy in here before I get in too deep. Let me bring my homeboy. And we're going to celebrate this fellow real quick. Let me turn this music down. Because we're definitely about to celebrate him. Najir, can you hear me?
I hear you, buddy. What's up?
Hey, what's cracking, bro?
Chilling. Just got back from the gym, working out, getting my body
Okay.
right.
I feel you, bro. I'm on the same tip, fam. Yo, bro, we talking about depression in the Black community. Do you think it's overlooked? Do you think it's not taken serious?
I think it's definitely overlooked, and I think that a lot of times, just as people, we've been down and bad, and we've been oppressed for a long time. It just becomes part of our nature, and it comes to a point where we feel like we need to just deal with it on our own accord, and we don't want to ask for help because sometimes we feel like we never asked for help, and we had to just get through it. So I think that's what we deal with today, especially in this modern society.
Got you. And ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, I would just like to give a shout out to Najir. He just passed his NCLEX. He is officially a nurse. And I just want to say I'm very happy for you. And I'm proud of you. Just keep it up on your journey. Continue to be great. Continue to be successful. And I always love celebrating Black men, especially Black men that are doing something with themselves on my platform. And I really appreciate you putting in the work to be great. So thank you for that, bro.
Let me call you back in like 5 minutes.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, I thought you was talking to me.
Somebody was on the phone with me. My bad.
Got the side chicks calling. Shout out to Najir, man. Hey, but check this out, bro. what coming up, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like my pops, like I was just trying to tell, like I got the best of both worlds, man. Because you know, I have my stepdad and I have my biological dad, which I have great relationships with both of those men, and I kind of had it from the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like my real dad, he was like he wasn't stern, but he was firm. You know what I'm saying? He taught me
Mhm.
like those life lessons that every man should know. He taught me how to be mentally strong and everything like that. My stepdad taught me that as well, but he was more of the playful type of dad. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like he was more open. He was the going camping type and all that kind of stuff, which my pops, he was into all that, but like, you know, my stepdad would want to wrestle and all that, you know, just that kind of interaction. You dig what I'm saying? So I was just like, you know, I'm looking at it from a perspective to where I'm pretty mentally stable. At least I like to think so. And I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of these young people today, they don't come from stable households. And I'm not saying that you cannot be depressed if you come from a stable household, but I feel like it's crucial, especially as a young man, because we was just talking about, or I was just talking about Lil Loaded. Now, I'm not familiar with Lil Loaded. I know he's a rapper. I don't know what kind of songs he produces or anything like that. But,
Mhm.
you know, he killed himself and allegedly it was over a girl. I don't know for sure. But if that is the case, that is very unfortunate. So, what I want to what I want to bring to you is that do you feel that having a father figure is crucial for avoiding things like depression in our community, having that father, especially as a young black male?
First off, I want to say there's a difference between being a father and there's a difference from being a dad. Okay,
Okay.
I want to make that clear. Growing up, I didn't have my father in my life like that. I was raised by a single mother for majority of my life, but I had my grandfather, I had my uncle, I had men figures in my life that showed me that what a man is supposed to do and what a man is how they're supposed to carry himself. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather passed away in 2015. So like for a minute, I was growing up with just me and my mom. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when the man grows up with a lot of feminine characters, like Kevin Samuels, he was raised by a single mom, for example, and he had a lot of feminine women. He had women around his circle, so you gain a lot of these feminine characteristics, and you bring them in your relationships. You bring them through your job. You bring them through your life, and it can cause a lot of turmoil in a man because a man is naturally supposed to be in his masculine. So when it can cause a lot of trauma. It can cause a lot of wrong decision making, and it can cause a lot of issues for you. What was it? That
Right.
was did I? I
Thank you.
didn't really answer your question. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, do you feel like the having a father figure is crucial
Well, yeah,
for somebody to not go down that road of being somebody that is depressed or suffering from depression?
yeah. Ultimately, yeah. I think a father figure is definitely important because I think no one can show a man how to be a man other than a man. No,
Right.
no. Like a woman can do only but so much. You know what I'm saying? Because we biologically are different. We experience different things. We feel different things. We talk different. We look. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a
Okay.
lot of things that are different that um I'm not saying women can't do a good job raising a man, but there's a
Right.
certain things that a man needs to be able to experience and learn from another man. You know. So
Do you think in it? Okay, because I think right now and in society, it is popular to be depressed. Like, listen to the music. You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? Like, I think, like, from the movies that we watch, from the shows that we watch, um, I don't know that real popular Netflix show. Oh, it was called 13 Reasons or
There's reasons why.
something. Yeah, 13 Reasons Why. And I'm guessing like isn't that about like 13 ways to kill yourself or something like that? Or I'm not familiar with it, but
Um,
I'm thinking that's what it was about.
um, I never watched it, but I think that society, um, I think it's more. I think it's me. When I think about society, I think it's a marketing tactic, right? I feel
Right.
like a lot of people like to see people down, down, and make it up, but they don't understand that there's a process to it. There's a process to getting there. So
Mhm.
a lot of these people are like depressed, and they get to their life where like nothing's happening and all the shit that going on. Sorry, excuse my language. All this stuff going on. It's just like they just want to give up because they understand that there's a process to everything, you know. So I think that's where like a lot of depression comes from. Also, too, trauma, people's traumas, you know. I don't think
I
I don't.
saw a report of a 6-year-old black child who killed themselves
What?
because yeah, a 6-year-old black boy, he ended up killing himself because the people at school were making fun of him because he was black,
Mm-hmm.
calling him names, all kinds of stuff. I've seen a lot of children kill themselves. Now, I want to know as a child, when I would, you would just get bullied. You had bullying, you had roasting, you had all that kind of stuff as a kid. And I'm just like, as a child, I never even thought about killing myself. As a kid, like that never ever ran through my mind. Like killing myself? Why would I the concept of killing myself as a 6-year-old, like that wouldn't even compute. So in today's society, you have people as young as 6 killing themselves. What do you think is the cause of that? And let me know what you think, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think.
The cause of I think it has to do with them seeing cell phones. My sister's 11 years old and she has all this access to the world and seeing all these people, like people shooting each other, killing each other, people just like kids doing that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, yes, there's so much access and they're gaining so much knowledge at a young age because of the cell phones. And I feel like there is not kids going outside playing football. There's not kids going outside having fun. They're all on their freaking cell phones all day. So I think they're getting a lot of these thought processes through the phone. And I think it can become like, mental health can get in the way and they start doing stuff like that. I don't know why a 6-year-old is thinking like that. That's crazy.
Right. And I'm just like, now being bullied because you're black,
But
that's horrible.
That's not my saying is right, but that's what kids do. They always from kids.
Right.
I think,
Kids are very impressionable. And kids do bully, kids are cruel, like all that good stuff. And I understand the trauma that can come from being made fun of because of the color of your skin, because he was at a predominantly white school. And 6 years old though. You know what I'm saying? Like I
crazy.
can't imagine being that young and trying to kill myself, hanging yourself. Where do you even get things like that from? So I think within our community, there has always been depression. There has always been suicide. There has always been that stuff. But I think us as a people, either we have masked it, we put a mask and a cover over it, or we simply just don't acknowledge it because we think that's just something that those people do on television, and it can be very real. So I would say this. I always used to say that especially black men, we should get our problems taken care of. But I always used to say we don't have the luxury of being depressed.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that luxury because
Why you say that?
Because the world doesn't give a damn. You dig what I'm saying? They don't give a damn at the end of the day. Now, you should be able to go within your community, within your circle, within your family and relay problems to them. You should be able to bear some of your problems onto them and everything like that. Especially if you're feeling depressed. Like if you were to call me and say, CJ, I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Shit is fucking up or whatever the case may be. I'm going to say, I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you, brother. That's what I'm supposed to do as a black man talking to another black man, especially somebody that I consider a friend or somebody I consider a brother. I'm supposed to be there. Be my brother's keeper to a certain extent. I'm supposed to be there. You dig what I'm saying? But this whole, because I think a lot of people like attention too. A lot of people talk that suicide shit, but really want attention. And a lot of people don't want to actually put in the work You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people are scared to do that. So yes, depression, suicidal thoughts, all that stuff, in my opinion, is very real. It's very real. But I feel there is a difference between actually being depressed and wanting attention. Because a lot of niggas want attention. And
Mhm.
that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And what do you think about that?
I think that a lot of well, I can only speak really from my age group right now because I'm 23 years old. I'm young. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the people I come across, like my friend the other day, he when he's up, he can talk about how he's up, he's living his best life, he's doing what he got to do, he's grinding, he's getting money. But when he's low and when he's down, he talking about he want to kill himself. He talking about he can't do it. He can't deal with the life that's going on. He's a Caucasian man too,
Hmm.
and it's just like I'm looking at him like, bro, like if it wasn't for certain people in your life, you probably wouldn't even be able to do the things that you do. You need to be grateful and understand this is where you are right now and focus on how you can better and improve yourself. He doesn't want to do that. He don't he's comfortable with where he is, and then when he's low, he wants to complain. And it's like as a man especially, as a man, you got to make sure that in your 20s and this age, you're setting the groundwork to set your life up good for the future. And I feel like a lot of times people don't want to do that. They want instant gratification and they don't want to put that work in, which is when depression comes. And this is where I want to kill myself and I don't want to do this anymore and I want to give up. And then
Hmm.
people don't understand that to get to the top, you gotta go through the grind, son. Like you gotta be at rock bottom, bro. There's been times, listen, CJ, you know I want this job right now, and it's
For
like
sure.
I'm not gonna talk about my financial situation. I'm not saying I'm struggling, but there's been
Right.
times where I was like, yo, I can't go out. I can't do this right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I
Hey,
gotta
but you, like
focus
I
on.
said, man, I feel you. But right now, speaking for, you are at the age where you supposed to be eating shit. You supposed to be putting in that work or whatever. You are
Yo,
very
yo,
ahead of the curve. You are very ahead of the curve at to be so young. So I don't want you to ever be like, and I'm not saying you do, but I'm saying I don't ever want you to be like, man, I'm fucking up or anything like that, because you're not. For your age range, you are extremely ahead of the curve. At 22 years old, I was
20,
not doing what you are doing now, or
mm-hmm,
23. You know what
mm-hmm,
I'm saying? Like, I was working, I was grinding. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't in a stratosphere to be able to make that type of money
yeah.
at such a young age. So you yourself are in a great position, but as far as the depression is concerned, I actually looked up the definition, the clinical definition of depression. And according to the Mayo Clinic, it
Mm-hmm.
says it's a mental disorder, a mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily life. Now, they're saying that the possible causes could include a combination of biological, physiological, and social sources of distress. And I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to impact that. I really want to break that down because I I do believe that some of those situations do play a factor in mental illness and depression. So they're talking about psychological and biological. It could be biological and psychological causes. Now, when we're kids and young adults, whatever, and even adults, older adults, the things that we eat, the things that
Mm-hmm.
we put in our bodies,
Mm-hmm.
um, all kind of things that we do, the smoking, the drugs, all like just all the things that we do that can also contribute to depression, I think.
I guess you definitely can.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then like the chemical factor. So at that point, I feel like we need to do what we can to get ourselves some help, because especially as a community, because everybody's not rich, everybody doesn't have money. And I would assume that therapy, talking to a therapist, costs a lot of money. Or
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how much it costs. I can't say, but I'm just assuming at this point. But I can look it up actually. Let me
One
see
thing,
how much.
one
Go
thing I'm
ahead.
gonna
Go
say
ahead.
about African American people is like I feel like we don't. Sometimes we just don't want to have nothing to do with it. Like you know what I'm saying? They have that mentality. I want nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I see a brother, like someone, another black man doing something like in the gym, for example, when I go work out, I see someone doing a workout wrong. I'm the type of dude where I'm gonna say, listen, you're gonna hurt your back doing that. You should do it. You should try it this way. If you like it, nah or not, nah. Most people would be like, I don't give a fuck. I ain't doing that. I don't got nothing to do with that. I ain't gonna help dude. Like, I don't care. It got nothing to do with me. It's not benefiting me. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if you had that mentality, it's just like we shouldn't have. You shouldn't have to spend mad money on trying to. Hello.
I'm here.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
You
Go
should.
ahead.
Yeah, it went out for a second. You shouldn't have to spend mad money on like trying to find someone to talk to. There should people on your. You should be have people in your corner, your circle that you can go to. Like you, I can go, yo, CJ, bro. There's something going on. Like, what's your opinion on this? Or like one of my other OGs, he's in the RN. I could talk to him. Yo, what's going on? Like, nah, it should be like that. We need men, black men, doing that for other black men. It shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to internalize all my feelings and then get to the point where I want to shoot somebody, or I want to go out and rob a bank, or I want to go out and just do something. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. And I feel like a lot of black men deal with that issue.
Yeah, and I feel you on that point. Me and my girl, we have a lot of conversations about why can't this person do this or why can't this person do that? Because, and this may be a flaw of mine, I'm a very black and white person. I either think it's this way or I think it's that way. And I feel like us as people, we have the same 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a hard time feeling sorry for grown men that it's nothing wrong with them physically. They don't suffer from any ailments. They don't suffer from any sickness or anything like that. And this is why I say I think a lot of people just want, I think some people, not a lot, I think some people want attention versus putting in the actual work. Because if you are able bodied, there's no reason that you can't go out and grind like I
Mm-hmm.
did or like you did. I have a zero tolerance policy for lazy grown men. I
Mm-hmm.
have a zero to all that complaining. Well, I can't, man, just ain't never just going my way. All that, I no, I can't deal with it, bro. Because if I know you talk about being depressed, right? You won't go get a job, but you can go find some way to go trick off money on these hood rats or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, but you don't want to go put in 60 hours a week. And then when she leave or something like that, you want to talk about you depressed. No, you're capping and you're lazy. That's not being depressed. So that's why I like to try to find what being depressed actually looks like. You dig what I'm saying? And I want to put that out there for those who may not know. There's a difference between being lazy and being somebody who is actually depressed, that's about
Mm-hmm.
to kill themselves or shoot up a school or something like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a difference. It's a difference, bro.
It's definitely a difference. So that's why, like, I know dudes, grown men that can work but don't want to put in the work. Like,
Me too.
uh, bro, nigga, are you depressed or are you lazy, bro? Are you on
Mm-hmm.
any type of medications? Are you trying to attempt to make yourself better? You know what I'm saying? All that smoking, the music you listening to, the company that you keep, and everything like that. And I know some of us are in a messed up position. We live in horrible circumstances and everything like that. But at what point do we say, okay, am I hindered by a mental illness or am I hindered because I'm lazy? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I learned at a young age that I did not want to be broke. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to be broke. And I could give you every excuse in the world if I wanted to. I'm black. The man trying to keep me down. My mama
Mm-hmm.
wasn't rich. My daddy wasn't rich. I didn't get enough hug as a kid. Whatever the case may be. But I said, no, I'm about to get out and get it done. And again, I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to be dismissive towards somebody's real issue, because I do understand and I empathize with people that feel like taking their life or that feel like they can't do it.
I'm gonna say something, CJ. Though I think a lot of this stuff is installed or instilled in you when you were a kid.
Mhm.
My mom was a single mom. She had me at 17, did it by herself. You feel me? She didn't have it like that. Seeing my mom do that, my mom said, "Nigeria, your first car, you're buying it." My first car was a 1996 Honda Civic. I was working at Burger King making $300, $400 every 2 weeks.
That's my
And
story,
I bought
fam.
bought my first car at 16 when everyone in my high school was driving the newest car. I was driving a 1996 Honda Civic.
Bro,
But after
I had a
that,
19 my first car. I worked at Burger King.
mm-hmm,
They know, all them people that know. I brought my first car from my girl brother at the time. Chick who was my girl at the time. I brought it from my brother. $400, fam. A 1984 Century Buick. It was a
mm-hmm.
piece of shit, but I was proud of it.
My car was a piece
Proud
of
of it.
and it's just like that. Those little things, those little accomplishments, those. The next job I got was a retail job. I never next job after that. I was out of a job, so I you know what, took my car and delivered pizzas. Like I was like I had to get it. My mom told me that you are a man, you need to get it. And I feel like at times, like
Shout
I
out
had
to your mom, man. Shout out to your mom.
I just felt like that. Those the times where my friends were outside partying in high school, I was working and I was doing those things. That is the reason where I am today. Like you feel me? Like I can't. But there's been times where depression hit me and I was depressed. But I never stopped working. I never
Mm-hmm.
stopped doing the things I had to do because I know if I stop, then that's when I'm really gonna be over for. That's when I'm really done. You feel me?
So do
So
you think you were actually depressed, or were you just having a bad week or a
no,
bad day?
I think that I have bad days. I think when I was really depressed was when I went through something with my past relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
that showed me the flaws in me as a man. And whenever man has that time when they realize there's shit that they need to work on, you know what I'm saying? And I realized I look back at my past. I went to a therapy. I went to therapist. I talked to a therapist for almost a half of a year, and therapy helped me because it made me realize the internal things that I was dealing with that was buried under my ego. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? A lot of black men bury their feelings over their ego. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you dig deep into that and tap into what was really hurting you, then that's when you can alleviate the depression. And I feel like a
I,
lot of black men don't do that.
I feel like a lot of us as black men, and I agree with you. I feel like a lot of us do hide things under our ego because sometimes that's all we got.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
That's all we got as black men because
That's what
the
society
world,
do though. That's what they say.
right?
Like black men gotta be hard. Black men da 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 da. Because if we soft, we appear weak. Because we living in the hood. We living in these neighborhoods where we gotta protect our own and we gotta, you know what I'm saying? So if we let anybody in, they gonna take advantage of that and step on us. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
if you keep that mentality, that's why black men are the way they are. But I think people don't understand that there's different. We're evolving. We're changing. We're all becoming better. Yeah, I went on an interview the other day, and Shawty said, "Oh, you're here for housekeeping, or you here for housekeeping, or you here for PCT?" I said,
That
"No, I'm here for nurse.
happened to me before too,
I'm
bro.
here for nursing, honey. I'm here for nurse. I'm here for
Mm-hmm.
a nursing position." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it felt good to say that, but it was just like, what what I'm black because I'm black. I can't have education.
Right.
So
That's
like
funny.
little stuff like that can get into someone's ego and make them like feel like fuck it. I'm only good for this. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yo, when I had my first check, I picked it up from the place, and the HR lady,
I can't wait.
huh?
I can't
Yeah,
wait.
bro. The first check, the HR lady, I went up there, and I guess they had the checks in separate piles. So you had the medical staff, which was the nursing staff, and then you had the janitorial staff, then you had the dietary and everything like that. So you had the piles. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so she was like, "Oh, so are you here for you here for your check, right?" And I said, "Yeah." Are you janitorial or are you dietary? And I'm like, you ain't even think that I was gonna be a nurse, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, no, baby, I'm nursing. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, but yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was funny. That's funny you brought that up.
It's just
But because I wanted to go back to something you said because you said that you saw your therapist and you said that you were depressed. Now, I don't know, me personally, I don't know if I've ever actually been depressed because I tend to self analyze myself a lot. So when I look at the definition of depressed and what I saw that it meant, I don't think I've ever felt that way to the point to where days and weeks would go by where I just didn't want to move or get up out of bed. Now, granted, I have bad days. I do have bad days, and I have times where I do get upset or stuff like that. But I don't think me personally, I've ever been to the point to where I said, I don't want to do it today. I
Can I
don't want to do it.
can I tell you what it feels like to be in the mind of someone that was
Yeah,
depressed?
go ahead. And yeah,
Um,
please don't think that I'm trying to downplay your
no, no, no,
situation. I was just trying to illustrate to the people how I personally don't think I've ever been depressed according to their definition of what being depressed is.
I think that you can become depressed by having a situation like reveal itself and you realize something about yourself which can cause you to be depressed. I'm not gonna go too big into my situation. Hold on. So basically, there's you can but sorry, my mom just messed up our train of thought. So basically, there had a situation where like I've been hurt, trauma, and then I had to look at myself, and I was looking at the pattern of my actions, and I realized that I wasn't in love with myself, and I think that's where a lot of the issue lies. I didn't love myself, and I was putting other people. I was worrying about a lot of people's opinions, other than myself. I was caring about what other people thought about me. I didn't love myself because I was trying to do things to like make myself appear good. And I think I was doing that over a consecutive period of time. And then boom, once everything hit me, I was like, whoa, what was I doing this whole time? And I felt like for a long period of time, I was just sad. I didn't want to go to the gym. I wasn't eating. I lost mad weight. I was
Mhm,
hurt. I was messing up in school.
mhm.
But then I was depressed for a short period of time. I'm not saying I was depressed, like crazy depressed, but I felt depression. You know what I'm saying? I felt it. My body, my chemicals. Yo, I went from 260 pounds to 220 pounds, bro. I
So
lost
do
40
you
pounds.
did you have anybody that you could talk to at that time?
I had a
Like
lot of people to talk to, but it just wasn't it was nothing. It was something I had to filter out. It was something I had to go through, and I feel like the therapy really like my therapist. I talked to her like once a week, and I went through my insurance. I felt my therapist really kind of like told me the game plan, and I had to execute it. It wasn't necessarily like she was helping me; I was helping myself. But she gave me a good game plan, and when I executed it, and time went on, and I see myself getting up even when I didn't want to and doing what I had to do and just
right.
getting onto the grind, that's when I started to get out of that depression, you know?
Right. So with your experience with therapy, tell me some of the experience that went along with that. Did you feel at first maybe nervous going to talk to the therapist for the first time, or what was going
Okay.
through your head as you decided to take therapy?
My first therapist I went to was a therapist that my ex-girlfriend told me to go to. And I went to the therapist and the therapist was falling asleep on me when I was telling her my story. She fell
Mm.
asleep on me, bro. So I was like,
Was
yo,
she black or white?
black,
Or
black.
okay,
She fell
okay,
asleep on me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like,
right.
no. So then I went on my own time, stopped talking to my ex, and I just found this one therapist through a friend. And when I talked to her, I thought it was iffy at first because I felt like she was just agreeing with everything I was saying, like yes, 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 yes. But then ultimately, I realized what she was doing. She started to tell me about the things that I needed to work on, things that you, like Nigerian Mill Drakeford, needed to fix and tweak. And
Hmm.
like I was talking to her about all the pain and trauma I've been through, but she was able to see through it and kind of give me a game plan of Nigeria, you need to do this and you need to execute it. And if you don't, you're just gonna be in this whole cycle and the depression is gonna grow.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not saying she had all the answers because she's a human just like me, but she knows I guess like I needed help, and she was able to help me.
Good, good, and that's good. I'm glad that you wouldn't got what you needed. Cause see, I always had an issue. Like I said, if I was gonna go to see a therapist to talk about my issues, one, they had to be black,
Mm-hmm.
and that's no disrespect to the white therapists out
Nah.
there, but I just truly don't feel like a white therapist can truly understand my struggles as a black man. So
Mm-hmm.
I need to talk to somebody that can relate to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And two, I wanted them to be a male. And that's just me. Those were my conditions if I
It's
ever
hard
went.
to
Now, I'm not,
be a therapist, bro.
and that's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Super hard. There's no male therapist in Jersey, like apparently. Like, yeah. I have to go to the other state, other side of Jersey to find one. So I'm like,
Right. Those were my conditions, though. If I ever decided to go to therapy, which I'm not against at this point in my life, I'm not against therapy. I'm not against none of that stuff. I wouldn't say I was against it, but I just felt like it wasn't for me, and I wasn't even open to the idea of actually ever going to see a therapist, because my thought process at the time was, why would I go see somebody who don't know me and tell them my issues? Why would, and they're only here to collect a check, That was my thought process at the time. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I still feel that way. I really do still feel that way, because I was taught that as a kid from my pops, that if you got a problem, you can talk to your pops, or you take your butt to the gym and you work that problem out. You know what I'm saying? Or you write it down, or you find some way to express that problem in a positive light, versus being on some crazy simpish type of behavior.
Let me ask you a question. Would you
Go
pay?
ahead.
Would you pay Kevin Samuels the amount of money he's asking for an interview?
Yeah. At this point, yeah.
I kind of feel the same way. People say Kevin Samuels just uses to make money.
Yeah.
I think that he honestly cares about the people he's trying to help, especially the men. So I would spend the amount of money that if I had it, and I would spend the money he's asking for an hour to talk to this man, because I know it's gonna change my life. I feel like
Absolutely.
I think therapists, not all therapists, I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like if you find the right therapist, you could tell if somebody went to school to help people genuinely, or somebody's just there for the check. The first one who fell asleep on me, she was there for a check. The girl I talked to that was there for me, like even I told her, listen, I'm not gonna be able to come back to the meeting anymore. She still texts up on to me to this day, Nigeria, whenever you want, let me know when you come back, or you just want to talk. Is there anything you need? Let me know. Like, you feel me? Stuff like that. There's people out there. You just gotta find them. It's kind of hard.
I think mentorship is something that we desperately need, especially us as Black men in the community. We need mentorship, and we should promote mentorship more, because when you ask me if I would pay for Kevin Samuels, I would pay for his mentorship. I have no problem paying for a coach or something like that. Now, again, that can be seen as, well, isn't that kind of the same thing you would do with a therapist? You're telling them your problems and everything like that. And it could be looked at in the same situation. But I feel personally, when you become a mentor to somebody, that person has a somewhat vested interest in your success. And not saying that the therapist don't either, but I just feel like you can build a better relationship with that person, because if they are a real mentor and their heart is in the right place, they truly want to see you succeed as a person, more so as though someone who's just there for a check. Like, I've never taken Kevin Samuels' interview. I've never bought the service, but I will hope I talked to this guy named Anton Daniels. And Anton Daniels is a mentor to me. Anton Daniels is a millionaire and everything like that. I've called dude at 4 a.m., when I've had an issue. And, he's giving me advice and everything like that, because his heart is in the right place, and he wants to genuinely see the people that he coaches and that he mentors succeed. And then I think when you talk about ego, you made a great point, because a lot of us as men too, and this isn't just a Black thing at this point, but a lot of us be on the shit that, you can't tell me what to do. You can't do that. Coach, I don't need no coach. What I need a coach for? And I think that's the wrong way to play it, because every successful person has somebody that showed them the way or put them on in some sort of fashion. You don't get nowhere by yourself. You don't just get nowhere by yourself, period. You either have clients, you have customers, you have whatever. No one does anything by themselves. I know a lot of people like to make it seem like it's cool and everything like that. But you can't, Kevin Samuels wouldn't be where he is if he didn't have the subscribers, if he didn't have the people that supported him and supported his movement. He would be
100%.
nobody. So, and I think that's one thing that we need to get up out of. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Let me get to some of these comments. Let me get to some of these
I
comments.
got to dip out soon a little bit, but I'm gonna wait for these comments. But I got to dip out soon.
All right, cool. No doubt. Appreciate you tapping in.
Nah, but I'm
V Foggy says, CJ, I'm gonna try to make this live tomorrow. Let's get it because this debate. This is a good one. Shout out to you. Ray Jones said on the plantation right now. Tap in later. Shout out to Ray Jones. He said Black Lives Matter. Shout out to Kimani. Jay Manley says about to hit that LVN life, CJ. Thanks for the support. Also, as Black people, we need to come together and promote therapy. We need it.
Amen.
Shout out to Jay. Ray Jones. Great points being made. Let's see. Dee Dee says a therapist go to school to study to help others, just like a nurse. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. They go to school. Their purpose is to help people get through their issues. Back then, I just looked at it as why, because you know, you get the stereotypical, like when you watch the movies, you see the guy sitting on a couch and the therapist is writing shit down in this journal and everything like that. And so they show the nurse really just drawing pictures and all that stupid stuff because they don't have any vested interest. And that was the stereotype that I had for therapists for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm open to it, you know, if I ever needed it, but I just needed it on those terms. They will have to be Black and they will have to be male, because if I'm going to talk to somebody, they need to understand where I am truly coming from as a person. But if you got to get out of here, man, no doubt, bro. I appreciate you joining me, man.
You already know, bro.
All right, bro. All right, peace. Peace. That was Najir, everybody. That was Najir. Let me get my music back on. Turn my music back up. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I can't even do it. I gotta. Lord have mercy. There we go. We back. And we back. So yeah. So back to Lil Loaded. He allegedly killed himself. And well, not allegedly. He did kill himself, but it was allegedly over a female. And like I said, we just covered is depression something that's ignored by the Black community, mental illness and everything like that. But now I want to get into something that Najir actually brought up when he was talking about being in the relationships and everything like that. And I always said that you as a man, you cannot be successful in a relationship until you've had your heart broken. Let's see what these grits looking like. Bear with me. Oh yeah, them grits pop. Oh yeah, grits at 9:36 at night. You already know what it is. And they gotta have sugar in them. I'm trying to give up sugar. But yeah, I feel like that you truly cannot be successful in a relationship as a man until you've had your heart broken for the first time. Because Najir says something that's very critical. When he went to the therapist showed him how he should love himself. I think us as men growing up, we get sold the Disney fantasy as a man. Oh, you have to do this and you need to do this. You need to buy flowers. You need to be outside the window singing love songs and all that kind of stuff. We get sold that Disney fantasy and then we run with it. But that's not even logical.
They say humans are social.
It's not even logical. And even if you watch these romance movies and all that kind of stuff, a lot of them, when you really sit back and you analyze it, it makes absolutely no sense. But that's for another show. That's for another show. But until you have your heart broken, I personally feel like you cannot be successful in a relationship as a man, because you don't know what it's like to love somebody more than yourself and then be crushed. And that teaches you how to love yourself and how to make yourself the prize. Now, granted, that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and I have no problem with being wrong about that. But I truly feel like as a male, you truly cannot become you have to get your heart broken. It is a requirement. It is a requirement, in my opinion. And I know a lot of y'all are too cool for school. Man, what's going on with this mic right now? I know a lot of y'all are too cool for school, and y'all slanging hoes like it's no tomorrow. I get it. But until you've had that heartbreak, and every man, well, I would say most men, they've had their hearts broken at some point in their lives by a female. And until you've had that heartbreak, you don't know what it's like. You don't. And that right there teaches you how to love yourself. If you come out of it with a positive outlook, because some of y'all get y'all heart broken, y'all do crazy stuff like go slap her mama and all that kind of stuff. Or maybe even going so far as killing yourself, taking your own life. And I think that also comes from a lack of being taught how to love yourself as a kid, because I feel like one thing that is crucial is self-love has to be taught at a very young age. And a lot of people have children and they don't even know how to be adults yet, let alone raise a child. You have children having children. Yeah, they may be grown and adult. They may be grown physically, but they still have the mind of a child. So how can I possibly raise a child and I'm still a child in my mind? How can I do that? It's not really feasible if you ask me. That is not really feasible if you ask me. So, I don't know, boys and girls, what do you think? I think depression, mental illness is a very real thing in the community. I feel like people should do whatever they need to do to go get help. I feel like that we need to put, you know what? These drugs that we do in the community, the alcohol, the drinking, they're easy escapes. They are easy escapes. And again, I'm not the ethics police. I'm not telling you to stop smoking weed and, whatever you may do, that's on you. But I feel like these are easy escapes because I feel like a lot of us are hurting as people. And clearly we use these things to get over. And I feel like also, yeah, you may numb the pain with those things, but I also feel like that adds to the depression. That adds to making things worse. It adds to making things worse. So I think you need to be very careful with what you consume and what you put in your body. I think you need to be very careful with the things that you're listening to, especially young children. Because if we're in a position now to where young kids are killing themselves at 5 and 6 years old, what does a 5 and 6 year old know about killing themselves? Hanging themselves. Hanging themselves? What are these kids looking up on their phones? I'm grown. I'm 30 and I've never looked up how to kill myself. What are these kids really looking at on their phones nowadays? And where are the parents? And I know you can't be everywhere at one time. I get that point. But I just, for the life of me, cannot understand how a 6-year-old kid can fathom killing themselves. That was unheard of when I was 6, among other 6-year-olds in 96. Never in my life as a 6-year-old, as a kid. Like, I didn't start hearing about people killing themselves until I was like in high school. maybe middle school. And you know, people make a joke, be like, man, kill yourself, bro. Wearing them shoes, kill yourself. That was like the first time I was introduced to somebody killing themselves. So, I don't know. We got to say a prayer for the babies. We have to say a prayer for the babies. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it quits right now. I'm going to chill. I'm going to go watch me some DC movies. I'm going to go watch me some DC animated movies. And I'm going to call it a night tonight. And shout out to Kevin Samuels. He comes on at 10 o'clock. Probably be watching both of those at the same time. And I might even go to the gym tonight. I don't know. I might even go to the gym tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to the channel. We are currently at 985 subscribers, 15 away from 1,000. It would mean so much to me to get to that 1,000 milestone. And look, when I get to that 1,000 milestone, you're going to think I got 100,000 subscribers from the way I'm finna move. From the way I'm about to move, you're going to think I got 100,000 subscribers. Shout out to my man Clem. You gonna think I got 100,000 subscribers from the way I'm finna move on this channel? Oh yeah, I got some big plans. Cause I talk to my audience like it's 1 million of y'all. I don't care. I don't care if it's two people watching. I don't care if it's to one per. I don't care if nobody watches. I'm gonna act like I'm talking to 1 million folks because that's just how I look at myself. You got to see yourself as being great. We got to encourage each other, especially we got to encourage these babies. We got to encourage these kids. You got to see yourself as great. Yeah, I got 985 subscribers. That's not a lot to a lot of people, but it's a lot to me and it means everything to me. And I talk to my audience like it's 1 million of y'all. I would never shortchange the people that rock with me. I don't care if it's nobody watching or listening. I don't care. Because when it is 1 million people, I'm going to already be ready because I've been preparing for it my whole life. Whoo, I'm going to have to end like that. Fire. I've been preparing for it my whole life. And I'm going to end it just like that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Cancun Dreams, the group trip coming up real soon. And boys and girls, I'm about to get out of here and look at some of these cruises because, you know, they say we finna cruise in July from America. We'll see about that. Matter of fact, I'm about to go look at that right now. We would have did a travel show, but, you know, Dee ain't feeling too well. So maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. We'll see. But until next time, I bid you adieu. Peace out.